One day, a neighbor asked him what had caused such a change. Mr. Elliot, leaning on his garden fence, a contented smile playing on his lips, replied, "I've learned that complaining is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. It's better to enjoy the view, molehills and all." And from that day on, Mr. Elliot's lawn was not only the envy of the neighborhood for its beauty but also for its cheerful caretaker who had learned to find joy in the imperfection. Sure, complaining a little can make you feel better, but don't do it all the time. If you complain about everything, it becomes a habit, and you and everyone around you will just feel worse. Complaining doesn't fix anything. Whenever you face a problem, I hope your first thought isn't to complain, but to find a solution. I've been complaining to friends and family too, so I'm telling myself as well, complaining doesn't help. It's better to think about how to fix the problems. Sometimes others might even be jealous of your life. So don't complain too much because it doesn't solve anything. Just go with the flow. Life's not always perfect. When problems come, complaints follow. But what does complaining solve after that? Nothing. It's just a waste of time. Instead of complaining, think about what to eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's more meaningful. Or call some friends to relax and forget all the unhappy stuff. Lesson 2, if you have one day to live, make it a happy one. Live each day with joy, for to be alive is a gift not to be squandered. The world is full of mysteries, but none are as profound as the cycle of life and death. It's the one journey where the destination is unknown, the path unpredictable, and the duration a secret. Life and death are not ours to command. We can't decide when they come or go. We can't change them, like characters in a story we didn't write. People often say that our time of departure and our fortune are not in our hands, they're written in the stars. We can't grip life and death in our fists, nor can we paint our destiny with our own colors. What's in our power is to live each day that we're given with happiness in our hearts. Story 1. In a small, lively town, there was a teacher named Miss Elena. She was no ordinary teacher. She was like sunshine in school, making every kid smile and learn with fun. Her classroom was the happiest place, where kids laughed and learned all kinds of cool stuff. There was this one girl, Mia, who found school super hard. She was quiet and didn't talk much because she was worried about getting answers wrong. But Miss Elena knew Mia was smart in her own special way. She spent extra time with Mia, after all the other kids had gone home, showing her cool tricks to remember her lessons, always with a big smile and fun stories. Years went by, and Mia became a memory in Miss Elena's heart. Then, one day, a letter came. It was from Mia. Mia had grown up and was now making awesome art for people as a graphic designer. She thanked Miss Elena for all the fun and joy in her classroom. She said that those happy days helped her believe in herself. Mia wrote about how Miss Elena taught them that each day was like a blank picture they could color any way they wanted. You showed us how to pick the brightest colors for our days and find little things to be happy about. Even when studying got tough, your laughter made it fun, Mia said in her letter. As Miss Elena read about how thinking of her fun classroom helped Mia on sad days, her eyes got all sparkly with tears. She felt so happy that she had made school a place where Mia could find her own rainbow on gray days. This simple story fits right after the sentence, "What's in our power is to live each day that we're given with happiness in our hearts." It shows how being happy and making others happy can make a big difference, just like Miss Elena did for Mia. It's a story to help everyone remember to fill their days with joy and share it with others, just like sharing your favorite crayons. Even the strongest and the wealthiest can't put up a gate to stop death's arrival, nor can they press pause on life's clock, and they certainly can't rewind it. Every soul's arrival into this world is a feat, through time and space, and every soul must navigate the same waters of birth, aging, illness, and death. You can't know your first breath, nor can you predict your last. It's the mystery of existence. But what we can be certain of is this: we can fill our days with things that bring us joy. Since the future is a hidden picture, we must treasure the now, live happily each day, for today is all we truly own. Many worries are like shadows, they seem larger than they are, and most are self-made, crafted from idle time and restless minds. When idle hands and wandering minds team up, they become factories of worry, churning out troubles that weigh down our spirits. But these worries, these fears, they're like paper tigers, seemingly fearsome, yet unable to change the course of life's river. So why not choose happiness over worry? Once you adopt this mindset, you begin to see that there isn't a single problem that doesn't have a solution waiting on the horizon. Every trouble seems to have an expiration date, and with time, they all fade away. Story 2. In our little town, there was a kind baker named Mr. Brown, and he had the warmest, most welcoming bakery you could imagine. It was painted a cheerful yellow, and the smell of fresh bread and sweet cinnamon rolls filled the air. Mr. Brown had been baking since he was just a kid, helping his grandma mix dough and sprinkle sugar on pastries. Now, his bakery was the heart of the town. Every morning, Mr. Brown would wake up while the stars were still twinkling and begin baking. He loved the quiet of the morning, the way the dough felt in his hands, and the smiles he knew his treats would bring. Mr. Brown didn't just bake bread, he baked happiness. One rainy Tuesday, a little boy named Tim wandered into the bakery. His shoes squelched, and his face was as gloomy as the cloud-filled sky. Mr. Brown, with flour on his apron and a twinkle in his eye, noticed Tim's frown right away. He handed Tim a chocolate chip cookie, the kind that's all gooey in the middle, and asked, "What's got you down, buddy?" Tim looked up, a bit surprised, and sniffled, "I lost my toy car. It's my super favorite, and I can't find it anywhere." Mr. Brown nodded, his mustache twitching with thought. "Well, we can't have that, can we? Let's be detectives and look for it together." They started their search, peeking under tables and behind flour bags. Mr. Brown even checked in his big, puffy chef's hat. And then, there, shining by the sunny window, was Tim's toy car. It must have zoomed out of his pocket on his last visit. Tim's face lit up like the morning sun, and he giggled, giving Mr. Brown the biggest hug his little arms could manage. "Thank you, Mr. Brown. You're my hero." And as Tim skipped out of the bakery, car in hand, Mr. Brown felt his heart swell. He realized that the best ingredient in any day wasn't sugar or spice, it was a sprinkle of kindness. This story of Mr. Brown and Tim is perfect to insert after a paragraph that talks about the unhelpful nature of worry. It can serve as a beautiful illustration of how, instead of getting caught up in our troubles, we can find happiness in helping others and sharing simple moments of joy. Every day, we get tangled up in a web of worries, about school, work, friendships, and the small irritations of daily life. But take a moment, breathe, and think, are these troubles as significant as they seem? Worry won't dissolve them, it only clouds our vision. Instead, we should greet each day with a heart full of hope and optimism. A good mood can make the rough paths smooth and draw friends to your side. It can clear away the dark clouds and let the sun shine through. Remember, a bad mood is like a cloudy day, it casts shadows on everything and makes the world seem unfriendly. It invites a storm of negative feelings that can wash away our will to live joyfully, leaving us stranded in a sea of gloom. So, let's pledge to live happily, to make every day count. We didn't choose to come into this world, but we can choose how we live in it. Why let the days slip by in discontent? After all, life's clock ticks the same for the happy and the unhappy. Each of us will face the sunset of life, but until that day comes, let's paint our days with what we love, leaving no room for regret. There's wisdom in the old saying, whether you're happy or not, the day will pass. Why not choose happiness? So as the sun rises on each new day, let's make the choice to live it with joy. Lesson 3, do not regret about the past. Sometimes people think that if they worry enough about the past, they can make it all better.